Good afternoon, I'm standing here at the eastern end of New England Road and I'm about to show you around flat 18 Hazelgrove Gardens, which is this first floor 2-bedroom Georgian flat. These are rather unusual because these are freehold flats. Now in Haywards Heath, we have about 6 or 7 different blocks of freehold flats. These are very rare. If you speak to an estate agent or a mortgage advisor, or someone say no, there's no such thing as a freehold flat, they mean it's leasehold with a share of a freehold. We do not mean that at all. So basically all of these, there's I think there's 28 of these in total. You've got 3 little blocks here on New England Road and there's 3 blocks around the corner on Hazelgrove Road. So each flat is responsible for half of any major expense, so the roof, the drains, the pipes and stuff like that. You'd split those costs 50-50. The gardens are all allocated to each flat. So the ground floor flats own the front gardens and the immediate back garden, and the first floor flats have the very far bit of the back garden, which let me go and show you around there before we go upstairs into the flat itself. So this patio here would be owned by the ground floor flat, and then this garden here, this is all yours. So that shed's yours, the greenhouse is yours, all this area. It's a lovely sized garden. You've got a big patio area down this end, which is catching all the evening sun. We're north facing here, so obviously if you've got a garden big enough and long enough, it doesn't matter which way it faces because you're going to find the sun at some point of the day. But all of this is yours. So it comes with that flat upstairs. Let's go and show you around. Now just going back to the freehold flat thing, unfortunately in the UK, banks take a very blinkered view that if it's a freehold flat, there are no rules. Which, if you're looking at one of those great big 5-storey Victorian houses, if that was freehold and there were no rules, that could be a problem. And a bank takes a view that if it's freehold, that means there's no rules in place that anyone can just let their part of the building fall apart. They could change the windows to not look very nice. They could just generally make a mess, which would affect the long-term investment of your flat. In here, and in all the blocks in Haywards Heath that are freehold, it's not like that. So although you don't have a lease, you have a deed, and the deed states you will pay your share, or you're responsible for this, you're responsible for that. Generally speaking, most people tend to get buildings insurance between them in the building so that there's no confusion over whose insurance company is covering what. So that's the ins and outs. We can talk to you about that, but if you're talking to a bank or a mortgage broker, you've got to go to NatWest or RBS. They're the only lenders, to my knowledge, that have always lent on freehold flats. I've been doing this job a long time in Haywards Heath, and they are the rules. So do ask us if you have any questions. So let's show you around. So the property's been owned by the family since 2011. They've basically just let their children live in it all that time. They've just recently moved out. They've taken up all the carpets. Rather than put carpets down that someone else didn't like, they're leaving it be so you can do your own thing. It's all double glazed. It's all Georgian style double glazed windows. You've got a fireplace, which is rather nice. That's a proper open fire, so you can have an open log fire in there. Sorry, because it's empty, it's all a bit echoey, so I'll try and not talk too loud. But 2 big bedrooms, they're both doubles. This one's at the back with a double wardrobe on the left, and that's overlooking the rear gardens. The houses behind are in a small little development called Henry Muse, which is quite lovely. Bathroom. A little modern white suite, all very simple. You've got a window for natural ventilation, and of course the shower. Across the hall you've got the other bedroom, which again is still a nice sized double, and this one's overlooking the front of the property. Quite lovely, because this end of New England Road, a lot of people don't know, but through those hedges across there is a house called Peter's Cottage. That's one of the oldest houses in Haywards Heath. I've sold all of these over the years. Literally just down to your left, you've got the playing fields, which are part of St Joseph's Roman Catholic primary school, and there's another primary school just down the road. The town centre is literally 300 yards away. And then the kitchen, it's a modern kitchen, but this is of that age where you're going to probably want to refit it. So we've made a note that it does need general modernisation, but it's very clean and tidy and ready to move into. So there you go. That is flat 18 Hazelgrove Gardens. It's for sale through Mansell & Taggart in Haywards Heath. If you'd rather have a freehold flat than a leasehold flat where you're in control of the management, then this could be the flat for you. It's for sale with no chain. Get in touch with Mansell & Taggart. Thanks for watching.